All right. So we can see that formerly this was a band 9, very rare. And we can see there were some grammatical issues, there's some spelling problems, but when the overall letter or essay is sound, you can get mistakes, you can get spelling mistakes. So today I'm just going to focus on the um, letter. We know that the essay is also a 9. So if we write the letter now with and check it again, we will be able to see whether or not we stay a 9 or what is the level of this new letter. So I haven't read this. I haven't done general in a very long time. So let's have a check. And really, it should take us about 15, 20 minutes at most. So the task is rude neighbors. You live in a house opposite to some very inconsiderate neighbors. They're making life difficult for you and other people living on the street. You have spoken to them about their behavior, but nothing's changed. You want a council. You want the council or local authority to take action. Write a letter to the council. Explain the problem. Describe what these neighbors are doing and what you and the other neighbors want the council to do. And we started off here, so we just copy paste that. So I'm gonna stick this in here just so we can look at our plan a bit. So let's plan it out. So the house opposite are inconsiderate. They're making life difficult. Uh, and the other people across the street. So we technically have like 7 things going on right here. And then remember, we also want to have our closing statement. So considering this is a complaint plus recommended action, then we want to command something to be done. You want to command action of the council in the end. So, um, and then this is another moment. I'm not going to say sincerely because it is sincere, but it's definitely like you want to be stern and strong. So I still want to say respectfully. I quite like this. Um, Graham Page. Let's put our full name. So uh, remember, we have the purpose. So this is the purpose, and then these are the details. So it's 11:40 now. We've spent a minute thinking about it, and we want to plan it out a bit. So this we don't have to change much. They're making our lives difficult, but how? So we'll think of the how. Spoke to them about it. That hasn't changed, and now we want the action. So this is we want to see how is their life difficult and relate it to something to you. So I'm going to say, similar to my house, I live on a very small street, and um, it's a parking nightmare here. So relating to my current situation, like I actually can park. I got no problem with parking. They've never blocked my driveway. We have parking inside, whereas everybody else on the street has to park outside. So I'm just gonna make up a lie and say that everybody, like this neighbor, which for me is a business, um, they have been blocking the entrance to my parking. So this will be my problem. So parking issue for the neighborhood. So we want to paraphrase this first, and we want to paraphrase it. Um, by raising attention. So I am writing to the council today in regards, let's say, pertaining to a challenge that my neighbors and I are experiencing with other households on the street, on our street. So here, right, it says you live in a house opposite inconsiderate neighbors. I'm going to be doing uh I'm going to be doing, like, we don't have to go too far beyond the authority. I'm not going to mention business, nothing like that. I want to still relate it to the task. So I still want to keep it like houses. You're in a neighborhood. So it's just a citizen messaging the government. So uh, this is like retaining or in accordance with or because of a challenge. We always put everybody first. So my neighbors and I are experiencing with let's say another household, meaning one on our street. Um, I still want to, because these three are going to be their own paragraphs. So I want to summarize this. So um, after all parties involved have tried to reason with this issue, there has been no resolution. Therefore, we have consulted uh, with each other and determined that the local authority uh, must be responsible, must, let's say, for taking the subsequent, no, the next uh, step in order to find a peaceful solution. Okay, so here it says explain the problem. So I haven't actually mentioned the problem here yet. And already we're almost at our word count, 95 words. Okay, so we only need 150, and I'm already, if I delete this, we're actually at 75. So halfway. I've already used half of my word count for this. Dear sir or madam, I'm writing to the council today pertaining to a challenge that my neighbors and I are experiencing with another household, one household on our street. After all parties involved, this is maybe too colloquial. So I might change that. After all parties involved have tried to reason with the issue, there's been no resolution. Therefore, I'm going to you can put a semicolon before therefore. So we have considered with each other and determined that, let me take this comma out, we don't need it, that the local authority must be responsible for taking further, maybe let's say further action in order to find a peaceful solution. So the problem, just jump right into it. Like you said, short-winded, right to the point. So to be specific, let's be specific. Um, our our street is narrow with limited parking. Uh, let's keep that a short sentence. Um, most of the neighbors uh, park in front of their house, whereas the people who live in the, we can say, abode, or no, abode is a verb. So those who abode across from me, same as saying living across, those who abode from across from me um, have guests frequently. Let's move this before. Frequently have guests because we put the modifier beforehand. So when we're thinking about it, you see I thought about it after, but we have to put it first. What do they do? Have guests. When do they have it? Frequently. So we put it frequently have guests. Whom parks wherever they please, which disrupts the ability of the um, homeowners to park anywhere near their house. Now, if we put an extra thought, you don't have to, but maybe there's a solution here, like an easy solution. So, um, we'll put that considering it says you've already talked to them about their behavior and it hasn't changed. Um, let's say maybe there's parking right beside them, but for some reason they decide to park in front of everybody else's house. So to be specific, our street is narrow with limited parking. Period. Most of the neighbors park in front of their house, whereas the people who abode across from me frequently have guests whom, I'm pretty sure it's whom, because we're referencing the guests, whom park wherever they please, which disrupts the ability of the homeowners to park anywhere near their house. Not only does this inconvenience the actual members of our community, but actually next to the problematic household is a gravel parking lot. This parking lot, let's add the double dash, okay? Because we want to add more information to that thing. So, um, but actually, next to the problematic household is a gravel parking lot. And for some reason, their guests refuse to use it. Okay. Describe what these neighbors are doing. So this is the problem. And I want to maybe extend this. So describe what these people are doing. I've already said that they're parking elsewhere. So maybe I will condense it. Let's see. Because I have the problem? What are they doing? Maybe I might no, we should split it into two paragraphs. So, well, you know what? Let's try it. Let's just two paragraphs. Our street is narrow. Most of the neighbors park in front of their house. No, okay, let's follow the structure, always three paragraphs. This is only two sentences, so maybe I want to put a three. Um, see, that just would work. No. So, what are these neighbors doing? Considering space is limited, and let's make a really bad problem. So, not only can people not park, but maybe it obstructs the flow of traffic. So, and there are already numerous vehicles stationed on the main road. Once these visitors, let's say something other than the guests, uh, stay for extended periods of time, then the flow of traffic also becomes congested. Now let's weigh in about the neighbors. So you can imagine that the local people are becoming concerned and aggravated. And and together we have informed the the people, the individuals and their guests that this is unacceptable, especially since there is a parking lot they can put their vehicles into, which completely resolves the issue. Now we did what are they doing? What does everybody want? Simple solution. Um, we propose an easy I want to say solution. Let's say quick and effective solution which will be hmm, easy for the council to implement immediately, which is the erection of two signs that state no parking. Um, if these signs are placed on the road and these motorists disobey the sign, then local authorities will tow the vehicles. If conversely, if they abide by the sign, then they will be forced to park in the parking lot, which is free. Here's our closing statement. Uh, Together, the neighbors and I believe this is reasonable and fair to everyone. We look forward to hearing your res- your prompt response. Respectfully, me, Grant Page. That's way bigger than expected. So, less than 20 minutes, right? We have 321 words, so this is double the task. I'm not saying that this is great, but let's check it. We know that formerly it was a 9. I think at best it's an 8. But let's check. Check. Error checking the test. Did you write your real name? How dare you do this? Okay, I will call it John Doe. John Deere. Dun, 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 the magic AI. What do we got? What do we got? Long time, no general test. Bum, 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 bum. Da, da, da. 8. Ta-da! So we went down a band. But this is an 8. Here you got a band 8. So it's a little bit long. You can see there's some spelling mistakes. Grammatically, it hates me. But we got an 8. So here we go. I'll send this to you. And it was a pleasure. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.